What is up, y'all? UFC 279 fight picks. The Chrome Corner is back again. I've got a little bit of whiskey here, a little bit of whiskey ginger to be specific. Charlie T's in the house. What's up, Charlie?
I just got water.
He's just got water. We've got UFC 279. This fight card has a bunch of fan favorite type of guys on it, but it has been a total shit show. So let's go through a little bit of the timeline before we get into the fight picks. Okay, so originally we had Nate Diaz headlining the card against Kamza Chemiev. Co-main event was it was Tony Ferguson versus Li Jingliang. Right under that was Kevin Holland and Daniel Rodriguez, and then the two fights below that haven't changed at all. But those top three fights have all changed now. In the beginning, Diaz was complaining because he didn't even want the fight against Kamzat. Kamzat's talking smack as he always does. And then there's some scuffle in the back, which I believe at this point was Kevin Holland and Kamzat Chemiev talking smack. Kamzat Chemiev push kicked him in the chest, and Kevin Holland says that he hit him with a punch in the scuffle, but who knows? There's no video. There's nothing to go off of. Dana White was on record saying that all 6 of those guys were involved in the scuffle, but it doesn't seem like it was any more physical altercation other than Kamzat and Kevin.
If there was 6 guys involved in this fight, then how come there's no video of it? Which is crazy because this is the same organization that got a video of Connor and his boys trashing a bus that got Jorge Masvidal slapping the shit out of Leon Edwards.
3-piece in a soda.
There's not one video of this? Come on.
It's tough. So do you think that it was something very minor that they used to change all these fights up, or do you think that it was real?
This is a very weak card carried by star power, meaning Nate Diaz and Kamzat. I mean, your co-main event is a guy who's on a massive losing streak in Tony Ferguson. And
big star, though.
Well, yeah, Li Jianglong.
Jangalang.
Yeah. He's, I believe, 3-3 in his last 6 fights. There's no earth-shattering moment that could be basically change the direction of the company like the last pay-per-view. You don't have that key fight.
Yeah,
there's no title on the line. It's purely, it's basically Connor. It's comparable to when Connor fought Cowboy. You've got the big star fighting a guy who's been around for a while, and they know it can sell, so they're going to put Nate Diaz in the main event.
But let's get to the fight picks. I'll cut all that up so we didn't ramble too much in the beginning. But so the first fight on the card, which no one's talking about because there's so much other shit going on, we've got Johnny Walker coming in against Ion Cutelaba. Johnny Walker and Ion Cutelaba are both coming off losses. Walker is ranked number 12. Cutelaba's not ranked currently. You're the guest. You pick first. You got Walker or Cutelaba?
Yeah, well, these two guys have been very up and down recently. Streaky fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Walker has the clear advantage, in my opinion, stand-up wise and on the ground. He's a more dynamic fighter. I'm taking him by decision, but not an exciting fight to kick off the card at all.
I've got Walker as well. I think that he's too long. He's too fast. We know that Walker's chin is kind of suspect when he stays in the pocket and fights guys who have some power. I think Cutelaba's got a little power behind him, but he's not fast. His cardio tank is not there. And Walker, I don't think he has a problem with his cardio, so I feel like he can stay on the outside, and I think he can, if he puts enough pressure without getting in the pocket, I think he can finish Cutelaba, but I would say third round when he's tired. And Cutelaba's just his cardio is not good.
You know who he reminds me of?
Paulo
Mickey
Costa.
Gall. No, Mickey Gall. You ever watch the Mickey Gall fight? His tank literally goes out in the second or third round every single time he fights.
He doesn't even have an excuse, though. He's like Cutelaba and Paulo Costa are swole, which takes a lot of oxygen to feed those muscles, you know? They at least have an excuse, even though they, you know, I'm sure they could lose some of that muscle if they felt like it. But Mickey Gall has no excuse. We've got Irene Aldana versus Macey Chiasson. I think that's how you say that. Aldana is ranked number 4. Chiasson is ranked number 10. Aldana is a heavy favorite, the second heaviest favorite on the card at a negative 390. It's my pick first, and I'm going to go with the odds on this one. I do think Aldana wins. I think that she's faced better competition. She recently finished Ketlin Vieira. Chiasson's got a 3-inch reach on her, but I don't see it being enough to affect this. I just think Aldana's kind of set up to win here. What do you think?
Well, I agree with you. I mean, Aldana's a top-tier fighter. She did finish Vieira. She finished Beth Correa as well.
Yeah.
Her last fight, she won by knockout. It was a really good fight with Holly Holm. I know she lost the decision, but you're just dealing with two fighters who were in different tiers. And Aldana's just at another level. You got your top 5 fighters, and you got your top 10, top 15.
Yeah.
And Aldana is just 2 tiers above here. Her stand-up's great. She's got humongous knockout power, and I think she knocks her out. So I don't see this fight going past the second round. So I'm going second round knockout.
Okay. That's what I'm going to go with as well. I'm going to go Aldana second round. We've got Li Jingliang versus D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez. Jingliang's coming in ranked number 14. Rodriguez is coming in ranked number 11. So we're back to you as the guest. You got Jingliang or Rodriguez?
See, now this was a tougher pick than I thought because, Jingliang has the name and he's got the, people say pedigree, but I really like Daniel Rodriguez. And I really liked his last few fights. And his last fight, it's been around a year since he fought last. But, dude, he worked Kevin Lee.
Yeah.
He took it right to him. Like, there was no shot. In 2 fights before that, he beat Mike Perry.
Yeah. Who just recently beat MVP.
Yeah, he's on like a 3-4 fight winning streak. I believe he's like career record. He's like 14, 15 and 2.
Yeah.
So we might differ here, but I'm taking Rodriguez in this fight.
Okay. How do you think he gets it done?
I think he wins. I think he wins by decision, but I've been really impressed with his last few fights.
You might be surprised, but I'm going to go Rodriguez as well.
Oh.
I'm a fan of D-Rod, man. He really surprised me a few fights ago. I can't remember who it was against, but his boxing is fucking crisp, man.
Yeah,
it is so crisp. And Jingliang is no slouch. He's a leech, but he's no slouch. I thought, I guess it's just the way he's built, but I thought he was taller than Rodriguez, but they're actually the same height, or Rodriguez might be an inch taller. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think either guy could win this, but I'm going to go Rodriguez by decision. He's never been KO'd. He's never been submitted, so he's never been finished. Jingliang recently got finished by Kamza, which, that's Kamza, but still. It was a submission, but he got rocked, and that's how it happened. I'm going to go Rodriguez as well. So we are on the same page for all 3. Let's see if we can have a clean sweep of the same picks or not. So I think we already know we're going to pick the same on this one. We've got Kamza Chemiev versus Kevin Holland. Kamza Chemiev is the biggest favorite on the card at negative 580. He's ranked number 3. Kevin Holland is not ranked. I think they're fighting at a catch weight, which also I didn't mention that. I think Jing Liang and Rodriguez are also fighting at a catch weight. That's at least what UFC.com said. So Kamza Chimaev, Kevin Holland. It's my pick. I think I'm going to go with the obvious heavy favorite of Kamza Chimaev. I think that he might, because of his ego, he might play with his hands on the feet with Holland a little bit. But if he's smart at all, he will just completely, absolutely dominate Holland on the ground and probably ground and pound him out until either they stop it or Holland's just fighting for his life to just stay alive. But I think Kamzat's going to finish him. Man, I don't know whether to pick first or second round. Holland's scrappy, you know. I don't think he's been finished by strikes, has he?
I want to say once, but I'm not entirely sure. I want to look.
Yeah, if he hasn't been finished by strikes, I think he'll probably get submitted. Or, you know, if he just throws a barrage, the ref might stop it. But I don't see Holland's.
He's never been knocked out, but he has been submitted numerous times.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to end up submitting Holland. I'm going to go, but he beats him up with his strikes on the ground first.
I'm going to do the same. I think he gets him in the second round as well. Kevin Holland, he's a good fighter. You know, when he's faced top competition in the 185 division, and Vittori and Derek Brunson, he comes up short. So, I mean, he's a good fighter. He's not on the level of Kamzat. Even at catch weight, you know, Kamzat's going to work him. I don't see any way around it. So, yeah, second round as well.
Okay. Man, so we are about as close to the same exact picks as possible so far.
No one's picking against Kamzat, so that's yeah.
That was an easy one. We're pretty similar on the rounds as well and how they're going to happen. So this is the last fight to see if we pick all the same or not. Let's see, so it's your pick first. We've got Nathan Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. Both guys, huge names, huge fan favorites, huge fan bases. They've been in the game a long time. They've been all the way from the top of the game to fluctuating down.
Now they're near the bottom.
Ferguson's still ranked number 11, but Diaz isn't ranked. He's also been he's been as inactive as it gets as a fighter. He hasn't fought very much recently, but Diaz, Ferguson, both coming off losses, but who do you got?
I hate this fight for so many reasons. As a main event, I really do, just because Tony Ferguson's lost 4 fights in a row.
Uh-huh.
And no other sport can you lose 4 times in a row and then be the main event. It's like, you know, and Nate Diaz, his last win beat Anthony Pettis, but he lost 3 of his last 4, and he's fought. Well, he took like a 4-year layoff, a 3-year layoff. Here's how I see it playing out. I think these guys come out. I don't think there's much technical approach. I think this fight goes to the ground. I don't think you see a lot of jiu-jitsu from Diaz. You usually never do. I mean, he didn't even show any against Leon Edwards. He stands and trades, him and Tony. If you look at their reach, it is almost identical. I think Ferguson has like half inch on him, maybe, but they're both like 76.
Their height's the same as well?
Yeah. The difference is Nate can stand there and take it, while Tony, we've seen, is susceptible to getting knocked out.
Mm.
And I think it's just a longevity type fight. I think whoever can outlast the other one in terms of taking damage is going to win. I don't think Ferguson is as lethal of a striker as Jorge Masvidal, so I don't see him finishing Diaz. I think he bloodies Diaz up, as a lot of guys do, and it goes into the later rounds, and I think Ferguson wears down. I think Diaz. I'm going late round knockout for Diaz. I'm going 4th round. Late in the 4th round.
Late in the 4th round knockout for Diaz.
Purely based on his chin and his stamina and his ability to take it.
All right. Well, I'll start from how I see it playing out to get to my decision. So a couple things I have down here. So Ferguson looked really good to start out his last fight against Chandler. The best we've seen him in a long time. But then he gets brutally KO'd, which kind of that's a factor as well because it was only 4 months ago when he got KO'd. Usually you see guys take longer hiatuses after getting KO'd like that, especially cold. Diaz was originally prepping to be the main event for a 5-rounder, and it still is the main event as a 5-rounder for him. Ferguson was prepping for a 3-round fight versus Jingliang. But since that's changed around, it's now a 5-round fight, and he's also moving up a weight division from 155 to 170. Do you want to say something?
You're missing a key point about this, though.
What's the?
You got two complete fucking lunatics fighting each other. There have never been two crazier guys in the UFC than fucking Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson, except for maybe that caveman, Clay Guida.
Clay Guida.
Crazy ass.
Yeah, they're both prepping for other people, obviously. Diaz also made a comment in his interviews, and I could be wrong, but I don't think Diaz he's not sharp enough of a mind to say this comment and not and like be just actually trying to toy with his opponent's head. But he made a comment saying that he stopped preparing for the fight at some point, like because the weight's not hard for him. He was like, I've stopped prepping. Like at this point, just beat me if you can beat me. Otherwise, like I'm gonna beat you and shock the world. Whatever. Basically, what he said. So I don't know if he stopped prepping for 5 rounds necessarily or not, but he's always in great shape. He takes punches well, like you said. However, Ferguson, I think, is a more well-rounded fighter. I think that we haven't seen Diaz finish anybody since he finished McGregor back when he did. And I think Ferguson, if it goes to the ground, kind of like you're saying, like you said, Diaz doesn't show a lot of his jiu-jitsu, which he's actually supposedly really good at. We've seen it in the past. I think Ferguson cuts him up, and it ends up being either doctor stoppage because of that, or Ferguson wins partially because of the cut and how much that affects the fight on points.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, what round do you think?
I don't see either one of these guys dominating the other one enough unless he just completely knocks out Ferguson. I don't see either guy quitting. I don't see either guy getting submitted by the other one.
I could see a doctor stoppage for sure. For Nate.
Yeah, because he just gets cut so easy. Let me go doctor stoppage 4th round.
Okay. No, I could 100% see that. Nate gets opened up so easily. Like you said, he is just a cut machine, man. This card is literally only going to produce one fighter who is going to have an impact on a division in the UFC, and that's Kamza. Nobody else in this card is going to have a major impact on the division.
Yeah, unless Aldana
and
might.
The fight, well, yeah, possibly, but I mean,
but who cares?
Look who's at the top of that division. Here's the thing: the fight to make is Kamza fighting Colby Covington, because that will be the true test to see if this guy can actually take top competition. Because I don't think he can beat Colby. I think Colby would maul him on the ground.
That would be a good one. I don't know who I think would win that. I know I would want Colby to win.
Dude, Kamza, fighting Gilbert Burns, did he? I don't know. Oh, man, that fight was a lot closer than a lot of people think.
Cardio was not looking great for Kamza.
Yeah, exactly. Who's the cardio king?
Colby.
Colby could wear his ass out.
He's just gotta have to get. He would just have to, not get clipped, for sure. But yeah, if he didn't get clipped, his cardio was better than anybody's for sure.
So that's the fight to make. If Kamza doesn't get just upset by Kevin Holland, then you've got your fight right there.
Yep, I could see it, man.
So that's the next fight, Dana White. Do it.
Yep. So, guys, that's UFC 279, Chrome, and Charlie. We gave you our fight picks. We'll be posting them on Instagram as usual. Follow us on all social media links that I put in the description below, like I always do. We'll see you guys next time. We're out.
Stockton.